Hi, I'm Roy Furr with Breakthrough Marketing Secrets, and for today's video issue of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets, I'm doing another One Big Idea video, talking to you about one big idea that I pulled from a book that's important to you if you're involved with marketing, copywriting, selling, business building, entrepreneurship, whatever. And so for this video, I'm actually talking to you about this book, Start With Why by Simon Sinek. There it is on the screen for you. And in addition to talking about this one big idea from this book, I actually want to share with you what for me is a really proud parenting moment from yesterday that's totally relevant and is a great example of the big idea of this book in action. So yesterday was an unexpected snow day from school. We'd expected about half an inch of snow overnight, and everybody in town expected about half an inch of snow overnight. But suddenly we were hit with 3 or 4 inches of snow, which was just enough that the city wasn't able to keep up with it as it was coming down. And so the school district canceled school. Kids were out for the day. Everybody's excited, and so that sets the stage. There's snow on the ground everywhere. Nobody was really expecting it. The other thing that sets the stage for this is last Christmas, surprisingly to my wife and I as parents, all of our kids' friends got a Nintendo Switch for Christmas. And it was like the big Christmas present this year. And so suddenly we were in a situation where our kids didn't have the Switch, and they were seeing all their friends play it, and they were excited about it. And we're not ones to just go out and just buy them stuff because, but when that happened, we made the decision that, hey, we like Nintendo gaming systems, we like Nintendo games. We're not against getting a Switch. We just need to do it on terms that are not just us going out to buy them. And so we had actually set the stage by saying, okay, here's what we'll do. We will do a match with you. We will buy a Nintendo Switch with you if you manage to put together $150 worth of allowance and birthday money and money that you earn otherwise, and whatever the context is for how you can get this $150, and we're willing to help you find those opportunities. We will go in with you on the Nintendo Switch. And so yesterday morning, the kids decided, it was a snow day. The gears were turning, right? The kids decided that they wanted to make this jar, and the jar says Nintendo Switch Fund on it. And they decided to start putting money in the jar, and they had collected some money from various sources. And yesterday morning they had it was like 20 or 30 bucks. It wasn't very much in the jar. And so what they did, they put that money in the jar, and then my wife and I, we went out to shovel our driveway because that's what we do when it's snowing. And so we're clearing our driveway, and they come out and they start to talk to us. And now our kids are fairly young. They haven't really started to shovel yet, but they came out and they offered to help with shoveling. And so they were shoveling, and again, the gears are turning. We need to raise 150 bucks. We've heard that you can actually make money by shoveling other people's driveways. Maybe we should learn to shovel, and maybe we can shovel a few driveways and get a little closer to our $150 goal. And so they did. And actually, we made them, to make sure they would do a good enough job on shoveling other people's driveways, we made them shovel part of our driveway to a standard where we said, okay, you could go to neighbors, especially neighbors and you could offer to shovel their driveway, and they're not going to be sad about giving you this money. And so I actually go to work. My wife has the kids for the day, but it turns out that they basically get free reign. They're given the shovels. They're told to go out into the neighborhood, and as much money as they earn, great. And they actually meet up with a couple friends along the way. And this is an even better part of the story here. So they meet up with a couple friends along the way, and the friends start helping them shovel, and they have the agreement that, okay, we'll just shovel as many driveways as we can, and we'll split the money fairly based on who shovels what driveways. And so they're going around to houses. They're saying, hey, we're trying to earn money so that we can buy a Nintendo Switch. We need to earn this much. Can we shovel your driveway and make some money from that? And what ended up happening is people felt generous and they felt like they were part of the story by helping them out and paying them to shovel their driveways. And people were paying them more than they asked to shovel the driveway, which was just incredible and great and cool. And even some people would actually come out because we've had so much snow this year that a lot of it, there's like ice and stuff at the end of driveways, and people would actually come out and help them shovel the driveways, even as they paid them to shovel the driveways. And so they took off for a long time. They came home after shoveling a bunch of driveways with the money and threw it in the jar, and they had some hot chocolate and they had lunch, and then they actually went out again and they shoveled more driveways and more driveways. And when I got done with work a little after 5 o'clock, I went upstairs. I talked to my wife. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on and why our youngest is home, but nobody else is. Well, the older two, they start meandering their way home, and they shoveled even more driveways. And so they put the money in the jar, they bring the money in, they put the money in the jar, and they say, we think that we have $150, which means that they actually earned more than $100 from shoveling driveways all day long. And so they take it into our living room and they just open the jar and dump it out all over the floor. And they start counting and they start counting and they start counting. And actually it turned out that even their friends, these friends who they're good friends with, who have their own switches, they actually donated the money they earned back to our kids because they were so into this idea of earning the money for the switch so they could play together. And so they're counting the money, and it actually turns out that they have $160 and some change. They made over $100 that day shoveling. And then we actually had a really cool surprise for them. And the really cool surprise was that my wife and I had actually already bought the Nintendo Switch, and we had it set up, ready to go, ready to play. And so they counted the money, and then we said, wait there. And my wife brought out the box, and they got to open it. And it was such a great experience, because if you're a parent, you know that as you're raising kids, especially young kids, like it takes a bit for their brains to develop and develop things like discipline and develop their own their go-getter attitude, productivity, and being focused on goals. And it's completely natural development, right? But if you expect the best for your kids, expect the best from your kids, there can also be a lot of moments in childhood where you're thinking, okay, this kid won't even do their chores. How are they going to succeed in life? But throughout the day, they stayed dedicated to reaching this goal that they made, and they actually were able to do it. And then fortunately, because we had already purchased it, they were able to get that instant feedback, that instant celebration, that instant gratification, but not in a bad way, of we did the hard work all day, we earned this, and now we get the reward. We get to experience the reward right away. And it was so gratifying as a parent to see that, and it was so awesome of their friends, so generous of their friends to support that goal. And our kids actually called up their friends and said, hey, we got a Nintendo Switch, isn't this so awesome? Thank you for helping us. And it was so special, and to hear about the generosity of the neighbors who paid them more than they asked for and then came out and helped shovel the driveway anyway. Like, all of that was so incredible. And that speaks to the big idea from the book, Start With Why by Simon Sinek. And so so first off, this book is primarily about leadership, right? But the thing that I noticed first off was by starting with a why, by having this jar that was, notice it's now empty because they've spent the money, by having this jar where they said, okay, our why for doing this work today, for going out, and I think they shoveled more than 10 driveways, by going out and shoveling a whole bunch of our why for going out and shoveling a whole bunch of driveways and putting in more hard work than we've probably ever put in a single day in our entire lives, our why is getting this Nintendo Switch. And so the first thing that happened was they actually, by landing on that why that was important to them, they were actually able to establish self-leadership. And great leaders have to lead themselves first. And they found that why that created self-leadership in themselves. And through that self-leadership, through bringing their own selves along, they also inspired their friends to come along on the strength of that why, and they inspired neighbors to take part in the journey through their own minor contribution, and this big why. They were able, I mean, none of them are 10 yet. Our oldest is going to be 10 in a couple months. He was able to lead himself. Younger brother was able to lead himself. They were able to lead each other. They were able to lead their friends. They were able to lead the neighbors through their why, through their story of why they were earning this money, why it was so important to them. And then they were able to achieve their goal. And the really cool thing that happened as soon as the jar was empty was that our younger of the two sons, oh, and the other thing, our youngest, she just turned 5. She's not quite old enough to go around the neighborhood shoveling driveways all day. She helped a little bit with ours, but she just had a birthday and she had some birthday money. And through the why, she was able to be generous with her own birthday money, with her own contribution, more generous than she wanted to be initially. She actually decided to give more as the day went on. And so everybody came together with this, around this why. And the really cool thing that happened, because they saw the rewards of coming together and working together and going after this goal together, is so the jar originally said Nintendo Switch Fund, but our younger son, our middle child, he actually went and he grabbed the jar right after they got the Switch. He grabbed the jar and he grabbed a pencil, and I don't know if you can see it. He actually wrote, I got to turn it the right way for the camera. He added the word games there. So now it is the Nintendo Switch Games Fund, and that's possibility. That is a new why that they've established for working together into the future to get more games for the Switch. And I just thought that was really, really awesome, and a really good example that actually made me choose Start With Why today. For encouraging you to think about that big idea, to think about what is the why that is important for you, what is the why that represents what is going to drive you forward, and whether your organization, whether your company, whether your mission is just you. Let's say if you're a freelancer like me, well, I guess like I used to be, or you have a whole bunch of people working for you, an entire organization working for you. Well, if you find that why that moves you and that can move the organization, that can move your connections, your friends, your colleagues, your coworkers, your community, your nation, the world, if you find your why, you're going to find it much easier to achieve the whatever goals that you set out to achieve. And you're gonna find your how, you're gonna find your what, you're gonna find all of that by finding the why first. So with that, I do encourage you to go deeper into this book. It's a great book by Simon Sinek, Start With Why. I'll include a link with this video. And if you like this and you actually want to get more of me, this is part of my Breakthrough Marketing Secrets free emails and essays. Monday through Thursday, I publish an essay every day and send it out to my email subscribers. Friday, I do videos where I share an idea with you face-to-face here like this. And those videos recently have been the One Big Idea videos, where I talk about one big idea from an influential book for me. And so I would encourage you to go to breakthroughmarketingsecrets.com and sign up if you aren't already. That link is also here with the video. With that, I'm Roy Furr. I hope you've enjoyed this One Big Idea video on Start With Why by Simon Sinek. And I look forward to seeing you again next Video Friday. I'll see you later.